Welcome, I am Dr. Hadley. This is my video series on Microsoft 365 Excel, the online app. Today we are going to do some basic Excel things, talk about kind of general structure. We're going to talk about how to enter data and move around data and how to kind of change the view. So really simple stuff. So let's get started by opening up a new workbook. So this as a whole is a workbook, whereas these different tabs down here, and it only starts with one, but I can add more, okay, by pressing this plus sign. So if you hover over it, usually you get a little help thing that says new sheet. But in any case, so I click each one of these. Okay, these are sheets. So each one of these makes up the file, which is a workbook, but these sheets are different pages, so to speak. So one sheet might be your sales for a month. Sheet number 2 might be more of a reference sheet that has like the prices for all the different items and that you want to reference. Sheet 3 might have some analysis or graphs or whatever, you know, all sorts of things. Okay. Then, so sheets, workbook, and then these are cells. Okay, so each one of these boxes is a cell. And this is kind of what, and each cell contains information in some context. And it's arranged by rows and columns. The columns are letters. They go up to like DZ or something. And then the rows are just numbered. I think it goes down to like 65,000. I never tested the limits. But that's kind of how it's organized. Okay. Now up here is what's called the ribbon. We talked about that in the last video. This has all your functionality, so insert things, and here's formulas. We'll spend a whole day on that, and so on and so forth. Now, what you may notice is, hey, mine doesn't look like that. It's probably because you have this single line ribbon. So if you click on this little arrow down here, you probably see this. For me, I like the text. I mean, I kind of remember what the symbol looks like, but not always. I'm old. I need the words. So I like having the classic ribbon. I like having it just always show ribbon, but you can click to adjust it automatically so that it's not showing all the time. But to me, that's kind of a pain because I have to get the ribbon, then I have to. So I just like keeping on there. That's also, but that's personal preference. But it's also kind of what I'm used to using the original Excel, 2004 version, 2008 version, 2007 version, etc., etc. So that's the general layout of a workbook and the cells. Okay. In terms of views, okay, so if I go over here to views, there's some things I can do to customize it. I can take off these grid lines. I can take out the headers, the A, B's, and C's, the 1, 2's, 3's. I can take out this thing called the formula bar. However, I like having all those things, so I'm always going to have them on. Okay, so on to entering data. So entering data is as easy as typing. So Kevin, okay. And I can either press the arrow key. So I press down to go to the next cell. So Kevin, maybe I'm listing my favorite games. So Lost Ruins of Arnak, Titanicus, and like I don't recognize these games. That's because they're board games. But each one I can press down. I can also input data by pressing by pressing enter. So maybe you're really quick at the 10 key and you're inputting a lot of numbers. So 12.1, 13.5, 61.8, 22.45, etc., etc., etc. Okay. So each time I press enter, it's going to go down. Okay. But maybe I'm putting in headers. So like name, location, price. How I'm moving across is with tab. Okay. So as I'm typing, so address, tab, time, tab, and so on and so forth. So I can use arrow keys, I can use tab, I can use enter. Those are the three ways to kind of navigate through the thing. A kind of special navigation is, let's say I'm way over here, way down here, I'm down here over in AW61. Okay. If I do Control Home, that brings me back to A1. Okay. The last thing I would like to show you is how to move around the film. So let's say, oh, well, I want these actually under price. Okay. I can select them, and I'm trying moving it to the very border until I get the hand. Once I have the hand, I grip it, by clicking, and then I can just drag it to wherever I like it to be. So I'm gonna put it over here. Another thing I can do is I can cut paste. So Control X for cut, Control V for paste, or I can copy and paste. Control C for copy, Control V for paste. Pretty simple. There's a lot of fancy things I can do with copy and pasting, but that's kind of another video. Those are the basics of Excel. That's what we're going to do for this lesson. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. Keep watching. Keep subscribe, but like this video, and you have a good day.